Our next guest on the show here directed and wrote a movie called Turbo Kid.
Yes.
And from the gist of it, I guess it's Mad Max on bikes.
That's basically it.
And
with kids.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
This was
awesome.
a project that Gittles brought to my attention here, and he's like, "You got to watch this movie. This is amazing." He was all about it, and then I was like, "Okay, I'll take a look." And then within hours, Brian's like, "I've made contacts with the camp over there. I'm talking to the producers. I'm talking to directors. Do you want to have them on?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Let's see what they want to talk about." It's already booked. I got it. I was like, "Wow, I've never seen Gittles move this fast on something."
I like my grindhouse movies.
You do. So with that being said, let's go to the phone, and hopefully I'm going to get this name right because I have a tendency not to do this right. It's Yoann-Karl. Is it Whissell?
Whissell.
Whissell.
Yeah, that was close enough. That was perfect, even.
Okay.
There you
Good.
go.
With my two directing partners, Anouk Whissell and my sister, and François Simard, my brother-in-law.
Oh, awesome. Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you?
It's like, hey, everybody, let's FaceTime.
I know, this would be so great with FaceTime right now.
So let's talk about the story here about Turbo Kid. Now, this was a movie that was funded. It was IndieGoGo, right?
No, actually, we're having an IndieGoGo campaign right now.
Okay, that's where...
It was financed by government bodies in Canada and New Zealand.
All right. Where's the link that people can go check this out? We'll get that out, right out the bat here.
You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Vimeo. You can go... you can find it in theater. If you join our Facebook page, TurboKid, you'll find a link to be able to find it.
Okay.
Cool. So you guys started this off. This was like the short, the T for Turbo. Now, was that a project that you were trying to make for the ABCs of Death movie that came out as like a segment for it, or was this just separate and happened to like be a similar theme?
No, we wanted to make it for the ABCs of Death. ABCs of Death left the letter T in their first year to the public, and you would make a short, people would vote, and then there was a jury, and blah, blah, blah. You would get into the film. And we made Tears for Turbo for that contest. And we ended up first in the public vote, which was pretty awesome, but we didn't make it into the feature. But Ant Timpson, the producer of ABCs of Death, wrote to us and said, "Do you want to turn that short film into a full feature?" So we said no. And no, we said yes. And that was a great opportunity for us to push further that vision, and we did.
That's awesome. And how was it like working with Ant Timpson? I know he's been pretty big in like the grindhousey world here, doing a lot of producing rather. I know he has Deathgasm coming out, which is like a heavy metal like sci-fi type horror movie. And I also noticed the little nod to ABCs of Death in the opening title sequence of Turbo Kid.
Yes.
The little letters next to the viewfinder pieces was very nice.
Well, we had to, because ABCs of Death is one, an amazing series of film, an anthology film. Two, it's what brought us all the producers and everybody together, which it's really important to us. And working with Ant, it's almost not working with Ant. Ant is an amazing person, and we've become very, very close friends throughout the process. So I don't know. I think it's like working with a brother. So it was a ton of fun.
That's awesome. And I also noticed that you had Jason Eisner on as a producer on this, and he's known also for Hobo with a Shotgun and other segments from VHS2.
Probably the best title of a B movie ever made.
It's great.
Yeah. And I also noticed some similarities between Skeletron's mask and the Plague from Hobo with a Shotgun. So I don't know if there's any coordination there, or maybe we'll get like an origin story.
A side story of the Plague versus Skeletron in their own movie would be amazing.
Right? I think they're the perfect combination, because you got the Plague with their awesome, I guess you would call it hanging rope guns or whatever they're called when they're that hospital scene, and then you got Skeletron, who's got the cool buzzsaw arm that he could shoot the blades out of people. It's pretty great.
Oh man, that battle would be epic. It would be the ultimate battle that would destroy the rest of the world.
You'd probably run out of fake blood by the end of that.
Yeah.
So was this whole movie just shot in pretty much one location in a rock quarry?
Most of it was. We also filmed into an old abandoned warehouse. But most of it was filmed in the old abandoned quarry in Montreal.
Awesome.
We had to be clever. It was not a big place, but we make it feel. We try at least to make it feel that it was a big universe. It was a very tough shoot from time to time because of the weather. We had. Well, you're in United States, so I don't know what's the difference in Fahrenheit. I don't understand Fahrenheit. I'll admit it. But it was a minus 10 Celsius, so I think it's 0 in Fahrenheit. I believe.
Sure, let's just go with it. Look, we're in America. We don't get science either.
Yeah, we're not smart.
If it's not on Discovery Science Channel, we'll just say yes.
It was really cold. Just go with that.
Okay, so for the listeners who are listening who haven't seen the movie, how can you sell it to them? Because I'm very bad at giving out spoilers in every description. So I would like to hear from you. Because
When he dies at the end, you got to see this.
Because
What?
I want to say it's like, it's a post-apocalyptic friendship love story almost, but
I thought it was Mad Max meets Rad.
it's pretty awesome.
It is. It's a love letter to the movie we grew up with. It's BMX Bandit. It's Never Ending Story. It's The Goonies. It's also Brain Dead.
Oh yeah.
It's all that weird mixture of films that I think make it fun and entertaining. It's a BMX gore love story in the post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
We like to call it like if we found a very twisted 80s kid movie.
Oh yeah, that is for certain.
So this is one of those movies that either would have shown up like late night on like Cinemax or USA's Up All Night.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean,
Hey, if you want to go back to the 80s, I'll go back to the 80s, sir.
But we want people to, of course, feel a little bit nostalgic of all those years, but at the same time, we want them to enjoy the ride and have fun. Like, our blood and gore is never there to shock people. It's always to entertain. It's really more Bugs Bunny for adults.
Oh yeah. If people were shocked by that blood, then they've never cut themselves in real life, because blood does not shoot out in gallons because you lost a finger. It's like that's not how you bleed.
Definitely not.
So
man.
But
yeah, and at the same, like, we want people to leave the theater or leave their VOD experience and bring friends to watch it. Like, crack a couple of beers, have fun together, and to have a big smile at the end of the movie and just to enjoy the ride.
This seems like one of those movies, if drive-in theaters were still around, that this would be the movie that you'd want to go and hang out in the car and watch this movie.
or like a bike-in theater.
Yeah, bike-in theater.
Totally. We actually live 2 streets from an old drive-in that is still working. But unfortunately, they only, show mainstream films. So we're trying to find a way with them to, make grindhouse-type film being presented there, but maybe one day.
Just put it in a different case and don't tell them, and then just shock everybody at the theater.
Bambi, just
Yeah, just be like, it's a classic hit from the 80s. And people are like, all right, even though it takes place in 97. But are you guys going to have any release of the soundtrack? Because I noticed the soundtrack was fantastic, and I don't know if that was an original score just for it, or how is that going to be released?
It's an original score just for the movie. It was written by a band from Montreal called Le Matos, which, interesting, one of the members of the band is also the DOP on the film.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So, yes, it's going to be released. It should be released soon. We don't have the date yet, but it's coming along very, very well. The music they made for the movie is just fantastic. I mean, it was so good. And they didn't have a lot of time to write it, because when we got the news that we're going to Sundance, our post-production time got cut in half. So every team was just starting working like crazy and not sleeping. But, you make sacrifice for Sundance. Sundance is pretty amazing.
They did miracles.
Yeah, they did miracles.
That's awesome. And you guys, I also saw on the IndieGoGo page that you're going to have some action figures soon of the Turbo Kid.
Okay, now I'm in.
And they're all handmade. It's by a company. They all handmade them, so it looks pretty cool. And we just unlocked the comic book. So we're starting writing the Turbo Kid comic book right now with an amazing artist called Jake Dion from Montreal, he's insanely good at drawing. So we're starting to write this, and it should be released beginning of next year.
So is the Turbo Kid book going to be the Turbo Rider book that he's reading, or is it going to be him a book about about Turbo Kid?
We might end up doing both. That's the thing. We have to take decision on that. There's definitely going to be a comic book about the kid and his stories and everything. But we really would like to do that Silver Age type comic book of old school of Turbo Rider. So it's brewing in our mind right now on what is going to be our decision.
I'm looking at the picture of the action figures that you have coming out associated with the IndieGoGo. I guess, or if you unlock it, those look fantastic.
I will pay the $275 for all 4 figures.
I need those
cool.
figures.
Who makes the figures?
It's a German company that's called, I'm drawing a blank.
It's Good Leg.
Good Leg.
Yeah.
Good Legs?
Yeah, and they're all handmade, and they're pretty cool. And if ever we hit 50,000, we're going to try to make a video game of Turbo Kid.
Oh,
That'd
nice.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why we had an IndieGoGo campaign. We're huge geeks, and we love comic books, action figures, and video games. And yeah, people, I think Turbo Kid really fits into that kind of derivative
Products.
and yeah, and we're a small movie. We don't have the same market, the same budget to promote the movie, so that's why.
It's a good way also to promote the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were flipping out because there was 2 conventions last week, a Dragon Con and Wizard thingy.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of people that dressed up in characters of Turbo Kid, and we were geeking out like kids, watching at the pictures, like, oh my God, this is stuff like the kid.
That's awesome.
Well, let me tell you the next step. If you're fascinated by that, let me tell you the next step is when more cons are going to go on. New York Comic Con's coming up here in about a month.
Yeah.
Not only you're going to see people maybe dressed in your costumes, you're going to see people profiting off your artwork. Go down to Artist Alley, and you're going to see all these people making their own T-shirts, their own busts and molds.
Yeah, they'd be like, this is Daryl from Walking Dead as Turbo Kid, you know?
It's like, these are better than what we're putting out. How do we get these? That'll be $40, sir. I made Turbo Kid. All right, $30.
At least, if as long they send us at least a copy of those bootlegs, that we can watch it, like a T-shirt or figurines or whatever.
Just walk to the table. Mine.
Just keep a folder of cease and desist in your backpack. It's like, give me a shirt or here's a letter. Give me a shirt, here's a letter. That's it.
That's a good deal. That's a good idea.
And what do you have in your pocket there? Give me that money. I got to pay parking, and plus I need to get a soda, and then we'll call it even.
So what was it like working with Michael Ironside? Because he's always been kind of a villainous character in a lot of movies. One of my favorites being Total Recall. Was it cool working with him? He was pretty great in the movie.
Yeah, he is, and that's the thing. Like, we all see Michael as like the legendary villain of the 80s, but in real life, when you go and sit with him, he is like the biggest teddy bear in the world. He's incredibly huggable. Like, sure, you'll all be scared that he's going to snap your neck, but during that hug, it feels pretty good.
So if I see him, I should just run up and give him a hug, or should I be like, "Hey, I've been told that you like hugs."
No, I would start by, I heard that you like hugs. He is a big man. He has big hands. I mean, he can snap your neck like it's nothing.
And big hands mean even bigger hugs.
Yes.
Exactly. But no, he's been great to us. We've become great friends, and he's helping us with our career and with great advice. And he is a fantastic man, really.
That's awesome.
Where are you with once the? Because I know you're out doing screenings of the movie. It's available on demand for people if you want to check it out. iTunes, I think Amazon Prime has it, and whatnot. Where are you as far as once that is all done? Are you doing actual physical copies for distribution as far as Blu-rays, DVDs?
Yes, we heard it's going to be somewhere at the beginning of next year or at the end of this year. We don't. Distributors don't tell us their whole plan because we have big mouths. But it's somewhere around those days.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
So it's not in time for the holidays, but it's still something to look forward to for next
It could be
year.
in time for the holidays.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be in time for the holidays.
It's all depends on the territory.
It'll be a good Christmas if you're watching it. It'll be very
Especially,
bloody.
especially if you package it right with, a random figure with the Blu-ray purchase. People will spend another $10 on top of that just to get the figure.
I'm sold.
I'm sold, yeah.
I would too. We're huge collectors of action figure. We cannot still believe we have action figure of something we made.
My people.
Yeah, you're talking to a whole bunch of nerds here. But Eric's wearing his Rick and Morty shirt right now.
I am. It's custom made at Comic-Con. You can't buy it anywhere.
Wow.
So let me ask you. Let's go down this wormhole here. So if you're all collectors, what do you collect?
I collect a lot of comics. A lot of comics. It's a little bit ridiculous how much I have comics. I have a ton of old action figures. Like, I have a room that's full of old action figures.
New action figures also.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second. There's a girl there. What does she collect?
I collect toys, action figures, comic books.
But is there a specific product that you like or a specific franchise?
I would say that my favorite comic book is Preachers.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Home run right off the bat.
You're winning me over.
Oh, and also Anouk is a huge collector of VHS.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. That's an interesting. I don't know if I know any VHS collectors.
So you didn't actually burn any of your own VHSs in the movie, right? Like during the scene where they were keeping warm, you didn't actually do that.
Oh, that would be evil.
Okay, just making sure.
That would be evil. You never hear people say that. Everyone's like, get those videotapes out of my house.
That's how I feel when my son pulls a head off of an action figure. I cry a little inside each
And then
time.
you throw him out of the house like Carlton. No, like Jazzy Jeff and
do.
Fresh Prince.
I make him sleep in the backyard for the night.
You should see him huck a 4-year-old. He gets good distance with that.
So what's next for Turbo Kid?
Right now, well, it's going to be released soon in UK, and we're going to Spain for the festival's Fidgets.
Awesome. Are you guys gonna?
And right now, we're writing 2 other scripts, and we have other projects we cannot talk about yet, but we're writing 2 projects of our own, and we're very busy. We're sleep is for the weak.
Yes. So are you guys going to be at New York Comic Con at all this year?
The what?
Are you going to be at New York Comic Con at all?
Oh, we wish we could. We so wish we could, but I don't think we're going to make it. We receive money to write 2 scripts, and we have deadlines, and we have to respect those deadlines.
Oh yeah, deadlines are
Priorities.
Definitely
I get it.
priorities
We
there.
get it.
Cool.
All right, I was trying to find the dates there for the screenings. Do you have? Can you give us a couple of dates where you're going to be screening this movie?
Oh man, we're terrible. Not off the top of our head. Like,
Well, are they on your
Perfect.
are they on your Facebook page at least? If we direct people to the Facebook page, are they all over there?
yeah, it's Turbo Kid. You'll find it on Facebook.
Yeah, it's facebook.com/Turbo Kid Movie for the page.
And also Turbo Kid Film on Twitter to follow that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Go out and see Turbo Kid. It's
Absolutely.
on demand, iTunes, all that stuff. You can get it there. Like they said, end of this year, maybe into the beginning of next year, the actual physical copy for those who still like to collect it. Or maybe for the girl, videotape, if she wants a copy of that. And then, that could be cool because the casing will be like red or blue or something collector.
They should do like a limited release on VHS like they do with like...
And you should be poorly copied. You should have one good master copy, then copy them onto those really cheesy ones if they still make those bricks. Pull the tab out where they have the little wavy lines so it's authentic.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Guys, thank you so much. Give out the Facebook again for Turbo Kid.
It's facebook.com/Turbo Kid Movie and Turbo Kid Film on Twitter.
And if you want to check our Twitter, it's Erik Nagel. We're putting up the link for the IndieGoGo campaign. So if you want to donate to that and get all kinds of cool perks, action figures, DVDs, all that cool stuff, and help out with where this thing is going, you should do that and help all these guys out. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, man.
No, thank you for having us. It was awesome.
And if you're in New York City at some point, well, since Giddles seems to have everybody's phone number over there, why don't you contact Giddles and come by the studio?
Oh, we would love to. We'll definitely try.
Okay.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
We'll try and get some toys for you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys.
We're sending you Uggs.
They're sending what?
Uggs.
Love.
Oh, love. I thought I heard action figure, but that's okay.
Eric hears what he wants to hear.
I heard all 4 action figures are coming my way. Great. Yes, come in studio. We'd love to talk to you. Okay, guys. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah,
Those
man.
I gotta say, I was impressed looking at that screen. I was like, oh, and you said it before I did. You're like, I kind of want all of those. I was like, me too.
The main figure, Turbo Kid, he kind of reminds me of an old Voltron figure.
Yeah,
like,
I
that's
know what
the
you're talking
first
about, like
thing
the
I
helmet.
looked at. Yeah, with the helmet, I'm like, holy shit, that's a Voltron figure. Like, he looks like he belongs in the Green Lion, like Pidge.
Yeah, when they're like shooting down the.